Tonight, the saga of the SSB workers continue as at 3 o'clock this afternoon, a high majority of the company's union members walked out of their offices after getting indications that the negotiation meeting being held in Belmopan was not going in their favor. There is a pending collective bargaining agreement for the workers at the Social Security, but before that can be finalized, the board of directors for SSB and the Christian union workers that represent the workers need to come to an agreement on salary increases, pension increases, clothing allowance, among other issues. When we spoke to the chairman of the SSB, Doug Singh, this past Monday, he did express his disappointment at the decision of the workers to be protesting over uniform allowance and had indicated that even the request for an increase in pension for the SSB workers was ridiculous. Well, those comments did not bode well with the workers, and following today's meetings, a 2.5-page press release was sent out to the media. The release started out by condemning Singh's decisions to speak to the media on the negotiations as the workers regard the process to be confidential. The first paragraph reads in part, quote, Christian Workers Union, in conjunction and in solidarity with its members from the Social Security Board, denounces the recent conduct of the SSB chairman, Doug Singh, who seems intent in raising public sentiments against the workers and providing misleading and inaccurate information. These comments come just after the negotiating team of SSB, at its first negotiating session, tabled the request that there be a complete media blackout regarding the proposal, counter-proposals, and discussions during negotiations of the collective bargaining agreement, presently being negotiated. CWU, from its part, has refrained from discussing the CBA and all surrounding and relevant matters in this regard, and thus finds the conduct of the chairman to be in total bad faith and contrary to the spirit of good faith negotiations. End of quote. In addition to being upset with the media being briefed on the CBA negotiations, the release went on to highlighting certain comments made by Singh, saying that they were simply misleading to the public. As it relates to Singh's indication that the employees are seeking a raise in pension benefits, the release categorically denied it, saying, quote, It is totally not true that the CBA seeks an increase in pension for employees. There is a staff pension scheme operated by the Social Security Board under its own legal documents not addressed in the CBA. Both staff and SSB contribute to this SSB pension scheme, which is managed by a board of trustees, and it is this board which has nothing to do with the CBA, CWU, or these negotiations that has recommended that the Social Security Board of Directors considered a raise to the existing only 4 pensioners under that staff pension scheme. SSB is the settler in this scheme. However, it is not a 16% raise as insinuated by the chairman. Any increase, if and when it is considered by the Board of Directors of SSB, will be an increase to those retired SSB staff pensioners and is no way connected to the present negotiations. End of quote. As we mentioned earlier, it is a lengthy release from the Christian Workers Union, and the essence of it was to oppose the remarks of Chairman Singh. The document closes off saying, quote, It is indeed unconscionable that there has not been a raise for pensioners since 2002, but that cannot be an indictment on the staff of the SSB and falls squarely under the purview of the SSB Board of Directors and the Minister of Government responsible for SSB. It must be noted that except for a few posts on the board, those who have the majority and set the tone of the SSB agenda are politically appointed and change and vary with each new government administration. Further, if anything should be questioned, it is the investment portfolio of SSB's monies that should be carefully invested to seek maximum returns to ensure increase in funds for the SSB scheme, which is mandatory for all persons employed to contribute to as per Belizean law. The legislation determines the process for consideration of such a raise, and it is not a process designated to the staff of SSB. The board must do its work in a timely fashion and not now initiate delay tactics and create red herrings to keep the staff at the mercy of the structure, per the word of the chairman, as steered by the board of directors who set the policies and mandates for the management of the SSB. We are disappointed at the chairman's uncalled-for comments, which seem to have been done more with a view to cause negative perception on the staff of SSB and incite public sentiments against them. instead of settling the tone of confidence in the management of SSB and gratitude for the continued hard work of the staff. End of quote. The Christian Workers Union is having a press conference tomorrow where these very same matters will be relayed.